Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Fyzee. This video is going to be, as you saw in the title, this is going to be a day in the life of a banker in Sydney. Currently, I'm working as a business banker in one of the big four banks in Australia. Basically, my work involves dealing with a portfolio of customers that all run businesses, and my job is to basically manage them and help them to, run their business much more effectively. And basically anything they need to run their business, they give me a phone call and I can sort it out for them in a nutshell. So I manage about 70 customers, and these customers range from people that run retail businesses, they have a physical storefront and they sell physical products, to companies that are software based and they're selling, software, or they're selling experiences. I've got a good mix of property investors in my portfolio and corporate businesses as well, where they have like offices and whatnot. And I basically help them out with anything they need to run their business. So this could be FPOS machines, business loans, if they're looking to buy a new business, if they're looking to expand their current business, also looking after their personal side of things as well. So if they have home loans they want to refinance, if they want to continue building their property portfolio, whether that's in residential or even commercial, I can help that out as well. So the role is basically about offering customers a very holistic point of contact for all of their banking needs. So in a standard day, I would usually start off my work at 9 a.m. Currently it is 9:43, so I really got to get a move on. I was trying to film this video, so it took a bit of time, but usually 9 a.m. is where I would start things off at. I know it may seem a bit late. I know a lot of my colleagues start work super early, especially when they're working from home. They start off at like 8 a.m., even 7 a.m. because it's just so much easier. You don't have to commute or anything like that. But for me, I am a night owl, so I really, value starting off work as late as possible because I do like staying up late. So 9 a.m. is the perfect setup for me. Now, in terms of how I structure my day, the first thing I would do is go through all of my emails first up. I'm the type of person that likes to, keep my inbox at 0 at all times. So whenever an email comes through, I'll try and have a look at it straight away. And the reason why I do that is so it allows me to prioritize straight away. So if I'm starting off my day, if I can go through all my emails, I can find out, which customer request is the most important to work on, and which request can, sit on the back end. So for example, if I've got a scenario where the customer's loan is literally settling next week and I've got to, help the customer out straight away, I'll be focusing on that. Whereas the customer who's asking me for a statement, for example, that customer can wait a little bit while I focus on the customers that need priority. So looking at my email this morning, as you guys can see, I've only got 10 unread emails, so I can, fully work with this. I've had mornings where I've had like 20, 30 emails come through overnight, which obviously I've got to have a look at. Most of them is just like admin things and just announcements, but a lot of those were customer requests. But 10 emails overnight is definitely doable, and I think this day is looking good so far. So once I've gone through all my emails, I know which customer requests have come through. Then what I like to do is basically set up my to-do list for the day. So basically got the date and what weekday it is, followed by just a list of 1 to 11, and I basically just fill this out. And as the day goes on, this to-do list is obviously digital, so it's very dynamic. I can easily take things out, I can easily add things in depending on what's come through. A lot of people like using paper-based to-do lists and whatever works for them, but for me, I find that digital is always the way to go. So the first thing on my to-do list is recording all of my calls that I've done for the week, so they're in the system and we can keep a log of everything that's happened with my customers. So I'm gonna enter in those calls now. Okay, so I've just finished recording all my calls and going through all my emails, and I've set up my to-do list. Now, one thing that I did notice is when I'm recording myself and when I was doing that little time lapse that you just saw, I found myself to be pretty productive. I don't know why. I think it's because there was a camera sort of staring at me, so you guys were kind of looking at me and looking at what I'm doing. So psychologically I was thinking that I have to be like super productive and I can't be on my phone. I was on my work phone for a bit because I had to record the calls, but largely for the last 20 or 30 minutes or so, I was basically doing like, you know, pretty deep work, which I'm super happy about. But now that that's done, I'm moving on to emailing my customers. So each year for customers that have large amounts of lending with us with our bank, what we do is we request the customers' financials and their most recent tax returns, so we can go through them and make sure that their business is still on track, you know, to identify any early warning signs of distress. And it's more so an opportunity to have a conversation with the customer as well, just talking about their annual business plans, what their plans are for their investment strategy as well, and how they're planning to grow their business. And then from those conversations, we can also find out some lending opportunities as well, which would of course, you know, help with my targets too. So if they're looking to expand their business, I can help out with the business loan, which would then, you know, help me out and help the customer out. So it's very important to have these conversations regularly with the customers, and it also helps to, you know, keep in touch with them regularly. So I'm going to send out a few emails to some customers which we'll be reviewing annually. I'll ask for their financials to see if the business is still doing fine, and if they have any needs, we can, you know, sort of discuss that as well. Alright, so that is all done. I have, you know, gotten in touch with those customers for the reviews that I'll be doing. Now I'm going to reach out to a colleague for a very specific matter. I spoke to a customer yesterday and they were having a weird issue with their internet banking. Now, I told the customer, look, I have no idea how to solve this issue. I'm sorry, but let me find out for you. So this is me trying to find out what the issue was. So I'm going to try and reach out to a colleague and see if they can help me out. I'm also having issues with my work phone too. So I'm going to call up IT and that's always fun. So yeah, I'll get onto it. I hope she picks up. Hey, how are you? Okay, so we have got a potential solution for my customer, so that's good. Hopefully that works. Now I'm going to give IT a call because I'm having issues, so you know, that's always fun. So yeah, it is what it is. Let's go for it. Okay, so it looks like this is gonna take way too long, so I think I'm better off just lodging a ticket on our like web service portal, and then hopefully they'll get in touch with me because this issue is not entirely urgent, but I would like to have it resolved, so I think I'll just lodge a ticket. So now that all of that is done, I'm gonna spend the next couple of hours replying to emails that have come through over the last couple of hours. I've had some missed calls as well, so I'm going to return the customer's calls, and then I'll do all of that before I go on to lunch. I've also got a few teammates that I've got to help out, so yep, the day is still quite busy. I'm also going to be calling some customers to book in a meeting with them. It will be good to actually meet these guys face to face and see, you know, how they run their business, how they're going. It's always good to meet customers face to face and actually visit their business premises. I absolutely love seeing, you know, business owners talk about how, you know, how they started their business, how passionate they are, and it's very, very great to see because it gives me insight as well, because I love the world of business, and I think there is so much more we can learn by learning from actual business owners rather than just, you know, like just watching a video or something. If you actually go out and meet them, I think there is a lot of insight to be gained. So I'm gonna make those calls. Hopefully these people have time over the next couple of weeks so I can, you know, come down, say hello, have an informal meeting, and if they have any needs, then I can sort of help them out there as well. So I'm gonna get cracking on that. Alright guys, so I've made a bunch of calls, I've sent a bunch of emails, and it's really been a roller coaster. One of my customers is going through some sort of hardship, so we'll have to look at you know, what we can do for that customer. Can we do something to assist them in the meantime? So that's that. I've sent a couple of emails. I also just had another call with a different customer. They're looking to do a development in Sydney, so they'll be needing finance of, you know, $3 to $4 million. So we'll try and find an appropriate solution for that customer. I've requested some more documents from them, so once that comes through, we'll get onto it. But looking at the time now, it is 2 p.m. or 2:01, so I'm gonna go get some lunch. So this is what I've got for lunch today, just some pasta, and what I'm gonna do is I'm literally just going to sit here, and just go on TikTok for like half an hour just to like chill out and relax before I get back into it. Alright guys, so currently it is 3:41. I have been doing some work, doing some trainings actually, to sort that out, because trainings become due every couple of months, so it's good to get them out of the way. And I've been replying to emails and doing a lot of admin stuff for my customers. I thought I would show you guys how I manage my day. I should have showed this to you, right in the mornings, but I guess I'll do it now because I've never really filmed a video like this, so let's jump into it. So this software that I use is called OneNote. Obviously, how you guys are seeing it, it's gonna be all blurred, but this is how I like to set up my day. I've got all my customers on the side, and I like to write notes about everything that's happening with my customers, so I can easily, reach down and sort of know what's happening at all times. This is how I like to organize myself. I've got tabs that include training, that have how-to guides, and this is all stuff that I've learned and I've kind of recorded here just so it's there and I don't have to go anywhere. I can basically just go right here to the search tab and basically just look up whatever I want, and it's just so much easier. The other thing I want to show you guys is my calendar. Obviously, once again, for privacy and all that good stuff, I've had to blur it all out. But you can see that I like to color code things. In a given day, once I'm done with a task, I will mark it as green. So obviously it's, it's done and dusted. Normal tasks are marked as blue, and things that are super duper important and urgent are marked as red or even orange, as you guys can see. And the stuff that is gray is just, just a, I don't even know what gray is, but in this one, Monday was public holiday, so I've just put it as gray. But that's how I like to structure it. I like to set reminders, and these blocks in my calendar aren't necessarily meetings. They're more so just reminders. Only probably a very small percentage of them are meetings. But I think putting reminders in your calendar is a good way to visualize everything and lets you know what's going on, especially when you color code it. So yeah, there you have it. Now it's time for a little snack. I've got my double time chocolate, or as I like to call it, this is a Kit Kat from wish.com. Alright guys, so right now it is 4:50 p.m. I still have a bunch of things to do, but I will be finishing up at about 5:30. Gonna send once more a lot of emails around to my customers for some things that I'm working on, and also I've got settlement next week happening for one of my clients, and they've just received documents. Thankfully these documents are electronic, so they can be easily signed, because we don't want them to be late for settlement. Otherwise they may have to pay penalties for their property that they've recently purchased. So that's all good to go. I'm sure the customers will be glad to hear that they're getting electronic documents and not, physical, like hand signing documents. So that's all good. And I will check back in with you guys at 5 o'clock once I've done this work. Alright guys, so it is 5:33 p.m. It is going to be the end of the workday. Today was fairly busy, but not as busy as it can get. I am happy with what I got done, but I think there still was, more things that I could have done. With a job like this, there will always be things that are going to be outstanding, and then it's up to you as to how you want to manage that. So for me, I like to really manage my customer expectations, and I let them know realistically when I can get back to them, so they're not left hanging. So that's the end of that. Tomorrow I'll be working on a brand new application for a customer for their business, for a 250k increase, which will be good for my targets and for the customer as well. So I'll be submitting that tomorrow, but overall, not a bad day at all. Now, by the way, this is the first video I've ever done on this channel, which is completely not scripted. Of course, I had a bit of an outline for the video, but largely this was not scripted. I didn't write, word for word what I'm gonna say. In my planning, I just wrote a bit of an outline as to what I want to talk about in a given workday. And I think I might be making more of these videos, but let me know if you found any value from this. I'm thinking of making more videos on career because I do find it pretty interesting. You know, it's a large part of all of our lives. And if you are looking at getting into banking, I think getting into business banking would be, you know, it's an interesting area to be in. So let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to make more videos on this topic. And guys, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for being here. Bye now.